Good afternoon again from Wampus Cat Field for the second week in a row. Conway Wampus Cat Baseball is live on Conway Corp. I'm Levi Gilbert alongside Jeff Matthews.
What up?
This is incredible. I mean, 5 years had gone by. We hadn't done a single broadcast together, and then twice in 5 days.
We had us a pandemic since the last time that we did a game together. In fact, the last game that we did together before the other day was the state semifinal game that the Wampus Cats won to go to the state championship game that they never played.
Remember that game fondly.
Yeah. Jaden Williams' grandma.
Yeah.
That's what I remember.
Having a heart attack is what she said. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, so thanks for having me. Tim, a little under the weather, and hopefully back over the weather sooner than later.
You know, he turned 60.
Oh, yeah.
And then all of a sudden, kidney stones.
Oh, we're saying that.
I checked with him. He said it was fine. And he specifically wanted me to thank everyone because people have been reaching out to him.
Yeah.
He had a little procedure today to help take care of it, and I'm sure he's probably watching right now. So he's very thankful for everyone that's checked in and very excited. I know he's excited about what's happening here on the field today because for the first time this season, Max Holland is in the starting lineup for your Conway Wampus Cats.
And so, Mr. Wampus Cat Baseball, David Thompson, walked over here a few moments ago, and he said, do you know the story? Do you know what's going on? And so I did not. So he's been injured. Arkansas commit, junior, one of the better players in the state, hasn't played, but is playing now.
Yeah, playing now. I mean, the Wampus Cats have handled their business without him. I mean, they're 6-0, 3-0 in conference play. But certainly they want him on the field. And so, yeah, it's when he first got injured, there were some questions around how serious it was. And luckily it's turned out to be less serious than they initially thought. So
so it's my understanding he is a catcher by trade.
That's correct.
But will not be catching tonight.
Will not. He much like the person who will be playing catcher, Sean Covert, they can play a ton of positions.
Okay.
I think because of the nature of the injury on his foot, they're trying to work him back in a little bit and
avoid
maybe
some foul tips.
Yeah, and maybe catching would be a little rough your first start back. Okay. All right, we're going to go ahead and turn it over to public address for our pregame ceremonies.
6A Central Conference matchup. First, the starting lineups for Little Rock Christian. Batting first, number 6, first baseman, Connor Smith. Batting second, number 5, left fielder, Ryan Mullen. Batting third, number 2, center fielder, Dalton Boone. Batting fourth, number 17, catcher, Reed Mitchell. Batting sixth, number 23, playing third base, Hayden Hall. Batting seventh, number 4, shortstop, Cole Davis. Batting next, we have number 27, the right fielder, Dominic Cicero. Playing second, wearing number 13, Pete Greenwood. Designated hitter, number 16, Carson Crum. And pitching for the Little Rock Christian Warriors, number 22, Jackson Franklin. And now, the starting lineup for your Conway Wampus Cats, the defending 6A Central Conference champions, batting leadoff, playing third base, number 23, senior Thomas Ford. Batting second, catching, wearing number 18, Sean Kohler. Batting third, wearing number 4, your shortstop, Max Holland. Batting fourth, wearing number 3, your left fielder, senior Blake Kordsmeyer. Batting fifth, the first baseman, number 2, Willie Voss. Batting sixth and wearing number 9, your designated hitter, Carter Crow. Batting seventh, wearing number 6, right fielder, senior Jackson Robinette. Batting eighth, the center fielder, number 14, London Stewart. Batting ninth, number 10, your pitcher, Owen Davenport. And starting at second base, number 7, Kian Brown. Fans, we're going to ask that you please stand and face the American flag located in the press box as we say the Pledge of Allegiance. The Pledge of Allegiance will be followed by a moment of silence and then the national anthem. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, with liberty, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now, a moment of silence. Wampus Cat fans, let's play ball.
This is Wampus Cat Baseball live on Conway Corp. He's Jeff Matthews, I'm Levi Gilbert, and hey, I doubt it's the first time these two programs have played each other ever in the history, but it is the first time that these two programs have played each other in 6A Central play.
Okay, I'm glad you brought that up. Can you, over the course of 7 innings, explain to me the conference?
Yes, I can try.
Okay.
I can try my best.
Because I know it is not like football and it is not like basketball, which was not like football.
So this is what I learned a week ago, is that unlike football, all the other sports, if a private school moves up a classification, which they do these 2-year cycles, right? If a private school moves up, another school doesn't have to move down. So they don't have to stay at 16 teams in the conference like they do in football.
Okay.
That's how it was explained to me. So you've got 9 teams in the Central. You have 9 teams over in the West, too.
And in basketball, we had 7 conference teams, correct?
Yes, on one side and 9
and
on the
other.
So it
and then
did
in
have
football,
16.
Yeah, but it was split geographically.
Yes.
Right, okay. But for baseball and softball and every other sport, that's how it's done, and that's a little unusual.
And it can be different per sport as well, because on the softball side, it's different teams in their conference than it is.
Maybe save that for me.
Yeah, we'll talk about
April
that
Fool's Day
in 2 weeks. But it's an interesting time. The way that Christian moved up was 2 years ago. They won the state championship in the 5A. They got 4 points for winning the state championship. It takes 5 to move up after a 2-year cycle. Okay. Last year, they had a winning conference record, so that was another point. But they actually finished with 2 points last year because they won a state tournament game. So they had enough points to move up, and that's where we are now.
Okay. Well, it's I don't know that the AAA gets a lot of grief, but the truth of the matter is they are trying to make this as equitable as possible in every sport, and that's a difficult thing to do.
Trying to make it work. Leading off for Little Rock Christian, first baseman, number 6, Connor Smith. Big frame. First pitch from Davenport is in, and it's a called strike. Oh, and Davenport has been on quite the run. 10 1/3 innings pitched, has yet to give up a run. Fouled off there. He's ahead in the count 0-2.
Good breaking ball, and he is a UCA commit, as I understand. So going to play his collegiate ball just up the road a little bit.
Well, Steve Owens will get to.
Yeah, Steve will know him real well.
He'll know him real well. Went outside there. It's a 1-2 count. 1-2 pitch on the way from Davenport. Kept his hands back, poked one out into right field. It's a leadoff single for Connor Smith and the Christian Warriors.
Now batting left fielder number 5, Ryan Mullen.
And that brings up left fielder Ryan Mullen.
So the way the conference season goes, is it home and home with everybody, or
You know,
not necessarily?
I'm not 100% sure on that. I believe that's the case.
Yeah.
David Thompson giving us the nod over there.
Okay.
They are playing on Tuesdays and Thursdays, which I found interesting this year. So no Friday games.
Yeah, no
no
Tuesday,
Friday
Friday.
conference games.
Okay.
1-0 swung on, lined out in the left field. That's back-to-back hits to start off the inning for Christian.
Now batting number 2, the center fielder, Dalton Boone.
You mentioned it. They have obviously had success, so they wouldn't be playing at this level. Just quick research today, know that they've got a former Warrior that's playing for University of Oklahoma, which is a top 10 program.
You'd be familiar with that?
I
yeah.
would be, Patrick Kircher. Very excited about what he's doing. And actually, I think that's the dad. Now I messed it up.
Okay.
Anyway, people are excited about the Kirchers. Jackson Kircher, that's his name. And there's a catcher at Oklahoma State, another player at Arkansas State, and kind of collegiate players littered lots of places around the region from this program. So obviously they've got a good reputation of developing talent.
So easy to see how they've moved their way all the way to the highest classification.
Absolutely, and easy to see why they have 2 on and no out. Handled the bats pretty well early on.
1-1 pitch to Boone. Low and away, ball 2.
So is my research correct on our record? Are we 6-0?
That is correct. Yep.
Okay.
6-0,
Let's
3-0 in
go.
conference play. Got a 3-1 win Thursday at Catholic. 2-1 from Davenport. Beautiful off-speed pitch.
Great pitch.
Evens the count at 2-2. Up is calling out some instructions to the Christian dugout. Not sure what was going on there. Runners at first and second. No outs. 2-2 pitch from Davenport. Swung on, drilled out into right center field. Runner will come around third, throw at the plate. Cover gets the tag down.
Got him.
And Smith is thrown out at home.
So London Stewart, center fielder, gets it in the gap. And a bullet to Cover, blocks the plate, gets the
Number
out.
17, Reed Mitchell.
Runner move up to third on the throw.
So Mullen at third and Boone at first. And 1 away. Comes
Good.
inside with the strike.
settling down a little bit.
Well, that'll surely help. Instead of a 1-0 lead for Christian, there's one out and runners on the corners. Pickoff attempt over at first. Boone got back easily.
There was a lot of room between short and third as Holland plays more up the middle. Now he creeps back over a little.
Fouled away, 0-2 the count.
Did I mention to not adjust your audio if you think you're hearing wind at home? Because it is.
Listen, I looked all in there trying to find a windsock. I could not find one.
It is windy, blowing directly out of the south. Got him.
Pick off to first. Got a pickle.
I got through.
And he'll take second. So he was holding Mullen over at third.
So now 2 in scoring position for their cleanup hitter. That, of course, takes away the double play possibility.
0-2 from Davenport.
Didn't miss by much, did it?
Just barely up in the zone. One out, 1-2 count. Fouled that to stay alive. Mullen at third, Boone at second. Mitchell will step out. Pitch from Davenport. Up in the zone, evens the count at 2-2.
So at what point does Tim start to kind of get nervous? And
Oh, he'd be
already
yeah,
there?
Yeah, he's already there. Wherever he
so
is.
had he not passed it yet, this might have put him over the edge.
Yeah, oh, yeah, for sure. That is a long foul ball.
Yeah, it is. And with the way the wind's blowing, it may end up at the library. It is blowing strong out of the south. Really not a helping wind with the way the field is situated. It's more cross.
A lot of pitches already here in the top of the first for Davenport. That's a liner out into center field. Stewart lined it up. Throw in will be cut off, and a run will score. Sack fly for Mitchell. And Christian is up 1-0.
Number 23, third baseman Hayden Hall.
So a chance here to get out of it with just 1 run scoring, which the way things started, 3 consecutive hits and ball hit pretty hard to center field there. To get out with just 1 would be a positive.
First pitch to Hall. Lanky frame, right-handed batter.
I was going to say tall drink of water.
Yeah.
But lanky frame.
Lanky frame.
Probably more
We're saying the
appropriate.
same thing.
We are, but I'm from the mid-1900s.
That's a great way to put that.
I mean, it is. That's what Papa would have said. Tall drink of water.
I believe that was ball 2. Yes, it was indeed. 2 outs, still a runner in scoring position. 2-0 pitch to Hall. Swings through there for strike 1.
So he'll throw 3 pitches, fastball, curve, slider.
Yeah.
I've seen both breaking pitches, the slower version and the quicker version.
Pitch there in the dirt. It's 3-1. First time I've had to see Davenport pitch with some adversity here. Three-one pitch on the way. And that catches the edge for strike two.
Good pitch. Good chance here to get out of this with just the one run. What's his strikeout pitch?
I like the off speed.
Okay.
Full count. That's fouled off. And Hall will keep this at bat alive. Another payoff pitch. That's floating out to right field. Diving attempt from Jackson Robnett, but it will fall and another run will score. That wind.
Yeah, that wind is going to be a challenge today. Yeah, there are going to be no easy fly balls.
So two have come across. Base is clear now. No, excuse me. Runner at first. And two outs here for the shortstop, Cole Davis. First pitch up in the zone for ball one.
So the way the schedule works, Tuesday, Thursday conference games. Since they're into conference, are there some non-conference mixed in throughout the week? So as far as like a rotation goes, does Owen pretty much pitch?
I think they do have a game this Friday. Swung on out into left field. Diving play from London Stewart to end the inning. 2 runs come across for Christian. But what an effort there to end the threat here in the first. Top half or bottom half coming up next on Conway Corp. Back live here on Conway Corp. There's 2 runs scored off of 3 hits, 1 error. That play out in right field, that was a tough play because of the wind.
Yeah, that's going to be a difficult, especially right field, because that's we were talking about that. Well, really all the outfield positions, but that one is where it's blowing away from you, not across. And so being able to try to get to that, going to have to be a little quicker jump on it than you're used to.
Leading off for your Wampus Cats, senior Thomas Ford, hitting .500 on the year at leadoff. And on the mound for Christians, Jackson Franklin. First pitch low and away for ball one. about the same location on pitch 2. Wampus Cats trail 2-0 here in the bottom of the first. Wow, that's just outside as well, and Ford is ahead in the count 3-0.
Showing some nice discipline. Good eye.
He's got 7 walks on the year. Pitch from Franklin, right down the pipe for strike 1. Three 3-1 pitch on the way. Ford lays off. It's a called strike 2.
Six two, 225. Good size. Just looking at him, I think, man, that's a good sized kid.
That's what you want on the corner. Payoff pitch up in the zone, and that's the 8th walk of the year for Thomas Ford. They will usually run for Ford. It's typically been Whit Williams, but he is out of the lineup tonight, so that is going to be Gavin Perry, a junior.
All right, so you're going to have to help me with that too. Again, I learned the game in the mid-1900s.
So they
say that. It was like the 80s, but still. So courtesy runners?
They can courtesy run for
catchers and pitchers maybe?
Yes, but they typically, if he gets on, even in the first inning, they will pinch run for him.
Oh, wait. That was Thomas Ford.
Yes.
Oh, he's not a catcher or a pitcher.
He is not. It's complicated.
It is complicated.
And even more so with Coach Leighton Harden, because he is constantly making moves.
Yeah.
Keeping you on your toes. The leadoff walk for Ford. There's a runner on for Sean Cover. Cover having quite the season, hitting 700.
Well, that's good.
That is,
wow, 14 of 20, hitting 700.
That is impressive. He was 3 for 3 a week ago here at home in the big win over Bryant.
Going to play collegiately at Southern Miss.
Pickoff attempt on Perry. He's back easily.
All of those Mississippi D1 schools are fantastic. Southern Miss, obviously, Mississippi State, Ole Miss, but Southern Miss holds their own. They're not a little brother down there. Good program that he's going to.
They'll pick off again, keeping Perry honest. Perry scored 2 runs on the year. Don't have any stolen bases for him just yet. Be a good time to get one. They'll pick off again.
Got his attention, don't they?
Cover's like, hey, pay attention to me. Got to throw one over here eventually. Here it comes. Up in the zone. Evens it at 1-1. Runner at first, no outs. The 1-1 to Cover. Swung on and fouled away for strike 2.
So when everybody's healthy, which Max is back today, do you know what the catcher rotation is? I mean, did they kind of split that time?
I think once he's fully good to go, he'll be back at catcher.
Okay. And then Sean plays.
He can play short. He can play second. He can play in the outfield.
Just find a spot for him.
Yeah.
He's a ball player.
He is indeed. He is probably the second best catcher in the state.
Behind his teammate?
Behind his teammate, Max Holland, when he's healthy. I mean, that's how good both of these guys are.
Wow.
Oh. 1-2 comes inside. That's ball 2.
I flinched more than Sean Cover did.
There's been a lot of hit by pitch early here in the season for your Wampus Cats. Oh, making him take that out of the
it had been back there
out
for
of the back pants.
first several pitches.
This umpire's he's got a particular way he wants things done. He's already talked to the Christian dugout on the top of the first. That's low for ball 3.
Now, if this was little kid baseball, at this rate, we would get 2 innings in and the time would run out.
Yeah.
Wow. Slow-moving first inning.
Full count to Cover. They'll try and toss it over to first again.
You know, I didn't know I was going to be working tonight when I went to work today, so I didn't wear anything Conway Corp. And my wife and I had plans to watch The Bachelor tonight. It was last night.
So we saved you.
I got to know what happens.
Rolled over to third, throw over to second is in time. So fielder's choice. Cover will move to first. And that's out number 1 for your Wampus Cats.
Now batting for the Wampus Cats, number 4, the shortstop, Max Holland.
And for the first time this year, Max Holland comes to the plate and immediately getting some clothing advice from the umpire. Malik Simpson will courtesy run for Cover at first.
So is there any sort of limit to the number of times you can use a courtesy runner? Or
I don't think so for the pitchers and catchers.
Okay.
I should know that, but I don't know definitively.
That's a very, very unusual rule. Because it would have made complete sense if it was just pitchers and catchers. I could see that because you want to hurry things along and let the pitcher rest a little bit and let the catcher start getting the gear on. But if you can use them for any position, it's interesting.
First pitch swinging out into left field. It's in play. Simpson headed for third. Holland at second. Throw at third. They'll say he got him. Wow. So it's a double for Max Holland.
On the first pitch he saw this year.
But Simpson going to be thrown out at third base for out number 2.
Now batting for the Wampus Cats, the left fielder, number 3, senior Blake Kortzmeyer.
Yeah, that seemed close. Seemed close.
I didn't quite have the angle on it, so I don't know. But, you know.
What would have Tim? What would?
Oh, he would have said safe.
WW.
He would have said safe for sure. What would Tim do? What would Tim say?
Yeah, WWTS.
Well, Blake Kortzmeyer at the plate now with 2 away and a runner in scoring position.
Well, that's encouraging to see Max hop up there. And first pitch he sees, he drills to left field for a double.
Double machine. That's Max Holland. That's outside for ball 1. Kortzmeyer hitting .381 on the year, 7 runs batted in. Chance to add to that RBI total here.
Blake, one of several of the Wampus Cats who are committed to play at. Wow, here we go.
Here we go again.
Okay, gotta quit having that. Several that are committed to play at ASU Three Rivers as that pipeline continues from Wampus Cat baseball down to ASU Three Rivers. Blake, along with Thomas Ford, Malik Simpson.
Tim Roach said safe. Ridiculous. I've been waiting. I've been waiting for the text.
I was wondering, yeah.
2 away, 1-1 count to Kortzmeyer. Swings On top of that one,
I don't know how to do it, but you know when you can make those GIFs or memojis or whatever?
mm-hmm.
We need one of those that looks like Tim doing his thing that he does with his his hands.
So just like he's sweeping.
Yeah, when he's just
sweeping the bad calls straight out of the
yes
stadium. Yeah.
Just one of those. He'd just save him some time, I think, if he could do that.
That's down in the zone. Evens it up at 2-2. Kordsmeyer trying to battle here.
I know I sound like a guy that hasn't done a baseball game in 3.5 decades, and I am, but who leads the team in home runs?
That would be Sean Cover.
Okay.
2 home runs.
Okay.
The team has 2 home runs.
Ah.
Kordsmeyer lays off the off speed, and it's a full count.
So are we more gap, station to station? Is that kind of
It's been that way so far.
yeah?
I actually have those numbers here. 43 singles on the year, 10 doubles, 5 triples, and 2 home runs.
Okay.
Team is batting .384. That's a good number.
Wow.
Kordsmeyer swings through the full count pitch for out number 3. Wampus Cats leave a runner at second, and they trail 2-0 as we head to the top of the second. Coming up next here on Conway Corp. Top of the second, coming up next here on Conway Corp. Your Wampus Cats trail 2-0. They got a hit in the bottom of the first. A double from Max Holland, his first plate appearance, first pitch he saw.
Have they done a lot of coming back in these early part of the season? Or they've been?
I don't think
the
they've
lead?
had to do quite a lot of that.
Yeah. That's a good pitch. Used to playing from the lead early on.
I know they've played in some close, it's been close at times in some of these games, but.
And with the change in the conference, with all of these teams in the conference, and then that means 18 conference games. Am I doing the math right?
It would be
16.
16.
Yeah, because there's 9 teams in the conference.
Quick work there for Davenport on Cicero. 3 pitches.
So with the 16 conference games, they get into conference season quick.
Yeah,
I mean, the
much
fact
quicker
that
this year.
That's why I wondered about the 6-0 that I saw, because I thought, well, they've got to have played more games than that. We're into conference play 2 weeks in. But no.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's why we're on the air here in March instead of April and May.
Yes. Yes. I remember the text that came and said, oh, the first baseball game is still in the middle of the basketball commitment. Had things gone our way, we would have had a basketball well, we ended up having a basketball broadcast last week with Conway Unified Team winning the state title over Bryant.
But that has not been normal for us the last few years.
No.
We haven't had our first Diamond Sport game until basketball was over. It's a single here for Greenwood.
It seems like most of the years it's been even after spring break, and then it's kind of been 6 consecutive weeks the way it was But this year, a little different. In fact, because of the way the conference season is and the way the scheduling has to go, it lets us do things like something we've never done before, which is the Bryant game. Obviously, Bryant probably our biggest rival.
Oh, yeah, for
but
both.
We
yeah.
can do both. We can do the softball game when the Lady Cats take on Bryant in a couple of weeks, which in the past we would have had to choose one or the other.
And we have been choosing the baseball broadcast.
Well, and a couple of times it'd been, it had been for the conference title.
Yeah, last year.
Late in the season, yeah. So glad we're able to do that this year.
It's one away, runner at first. Thought that might have crawled across, but it'll be called ball one. Greenwood at first. And Crum has gotten ahead in the count 2-0.
Whew.
Swings through it there for strike one.
Nice hit. Talked about that pipeline to ASU Three Rivers, but the pipeline off of mounds in Conway, whether it's here or over at UCA, has been pretty impressive.
Well, Crum lines out to second for out number two.
Between the pitchers who have come through Conway High and have gone on to success, and including one that was in Tokyo this morning, and Jordan Wicks, part of the opening day roster for the Cubs as they open the season early this morning against the Dodgers.
It's so cool.
And yeah, absolutely. And then a number of pitchers have come through UCA that have had incredible success. So Owen Davenport will be someone who can check both those boxes here next spring.
Well, Davenport, I believe, just a junior.
Oh, well then he'll have to wait.
He'll have to wait. Not quite yet.
You mentioned it earlier about this leadoff hitter for them, their first baseman. There's some good size. Looks like there could be some pop in that bat.
Had a single in the first, and then was thrown out at the plate.
Yeah, London Stewart got him.
Goes up in the zone, trying to get him to chase. Smith holds for ball one. Davenport throws over to first.
So who are the top teams in the 6A statewide and especially in the Central?
Well, I mean, your Wampus Cats are definitely in that mix.
One of them.
Christians in the mix.
Okay.
North Little Rock's off to a great start
Okay.
in conference play as well. Not as sure on the west side of things.
And you were telling me last week when we were preparing for the game that Bryant is down this year a little bit, young.
Lost a lot of seniors. That's grounded over to third. Long throw. Pulls the first baseman off the bag. Ball goes out into right field. Another runner will come across for Christian.
So the throw from Thomas Ford ate up Voss a little bit and got away and allowed the run to score. That close to getting out of this inning.
Second error of the game here for your Wampus Cats, and it's not how they typically roll. Pitching and defense is what Coach Harden preaches on.
Yeah.
Hey, a Christian player having to throw some equipment over.
So, Levi, do all the players have this like throughout the season? Have you seen? Well, I guess we just had the one other game, but
Well, I
would
can say
assume
for
they
sure
did.
that our players look
Yeah.
like that. Had the gear tucked into the back.
yeah. And last week's home plate umpire was fine with that.
Yeah.
Now we know.
He's the captain now. And he is running a tight ship.
I feel like I have to check my pockets. Sure. Everything.
Yeah, don't let him see me.
Oh, if he turns and looks up here,
I don't have my shirt tucked in.
well, and I've got an inhaler. I'm sure he'd hate that.
Runner at first, 2 outs. Pickoff attempt again. Mullen at the plate. He singled in the first, came around to score. Scored the first run of the game for the Warriors.
You know this stuff better than I do. How many years have we done Diamond Sports where we've had where we do the 6 games? I know we did a few one-offs several years ago.
I feel like we've done it every year that Tim's been here. So this is, I believe, our 5th year doing it.
Okay.
And
you and I never did it.
we never did it.
Okay.
And I feel like we would have done it.
Oh,
That in Coach Boucher's last
that is
year.
correct, but that was the COVID year.
Grounded over to third. Throw to first.
Oh, that's interference. Didn't he run into the glove? Am I making that up? Back in my day.
The umpire
Yep,
is going to call him out. So runner interference will be the third and final out to end the
Interesting.
inning.
Okay.
And Coach Brandon Eller coming across wanting to talk about it. Go ahead and hold it here a little bit. It was difficult to tell, but it seemed like he was running a little too inside.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's saying. So, yeah, just because he knocked the ball and the glove loose, but he is.
He's given us the visuals we need. I appreciate it.
Hey, he's very entertaining, if nothing else.
We're going to stay here for a little bit because I'm enjoying this theater.
All right. You think, he'll convince him eventually, right?
Oh, man. I'm loving it.
What I hope is that he asks the coach to take whatever it is in his back pocket out. That's what I hope happens.
Oh, man, oh, man. All right, we're going to take a little break here. Back with the bottom of the second after this break on Conway Corp. Back live to Wampus Cat Field. Still a lot of discussion going on around that last called out runner interference at first. The third and final out to end the inning, or in the top half of the inning for Christian.
So the throw carried the first baseman into the path a little bit.
But what the official was saying is that the runner took a step in.
Yes, into the inside corner of the bag, which is out of the base path, and therefore illegal. But there is a difference of opinion.
Well, I agree with Blue. I'll bring up Willie Voss, his first at bat.
There we go.
Swinging through there, lines a single out into right field. A leadoff runner on for your Wampus Cats.
Number 9, designated hitter Carter Crow.
So there is no starter that is hitting under 350, it looks like, just in a quick glance. That seems good.
Like I said, hitting 385 as a team. Carter Crow holds off there for ball one. And no outs. And Voss at first. Voss 4 stolen bases on the year. That's outside, ball 2.
We have several two-sport athletes that are playing baseball. Carter, obviously, one of those, and see Max Owen is on the roster.
Wesley Tapp on the roster as well.
Wesley Tapp, yep.
See him pitch from time to time. And after giving up the single to Voss, it's 3 straight balls from Franklin.
You'll have to help me because, as my role has changed, I don't remember every player. But did Blake Kordsmeyer play football?
Yes.
I thought so.
He's
Okay.
one of our starting receivers.
That's what I was thinking. That's Blake Kordsmeyer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Caught the first touchdown pass of the year
Yep.
up in Jonesboro.
Will Upton.
Yep.
Recognize that name, of course. Whit Williams.
Linebacker, yeah.
Okay. Well, I maybe paid more attention than I thought. I do feel like an idiot saying, did Blake Kordsmeyer play football? since he started. But, yes.
3-1 pitch is low and inside, and that's a walk. Runners at first and second now, and no outs. That'll bring on Jackson Robnett.
Number 6 to right fielder, senior Jackson Robnett.
Robnett hitting .429. 3 runs batted in. Let's get to 4 right here.
It feels like the wind is picking up out there, like just looking at jerseys and pants.
Yeah.
But it's not as breezy up here, but it definitely feels like the wind has picked up, at least field level.
First pitch to Robnett. Low and away, ball 1.
Jackson, one of a couple of Wampus Cats who will play collegiately over in Oklahoma at the junior college level. And there's some great junior college programs over there that are feeder programs for some really big schools. He'll go to Seminole State, and Bo Billick, Billick is going to go to Connors State.
A lot of former Wampus Cats playing baseball out there right now.
I love it. That's great.
Voss at second, Crow at first. And the 1-1 pitch to Rob. No, not yet. Great opportunity here for your Wampus Cats to cut into that lead. Showing bunt there. Going away for ball 2. Throw down to second. Squirts away. Voss had to get back quickly.
So a couple of baseball games the past 2 weeks, and then we are back the Tuesday after spring break for our next broadcast. It'll be over the softball fields when the Lady Cats do take on Bryant.
Showed bunt there, did not connect. And it's a 2-2 count. Pitch to Robnett, low and away. That's a full count. Christian fans not agreeing with that call.
Both of these starters have thrown a ton of pitches in 2 innings.
Robnett goes down looking
Well, that appeared to be high.
for out number 1. Seemed like it was up there a little bit.
Now batting for the Wallace Cats, number 14, center fielder, London Stewart.
That'll bring on London Stewart, junior center fielder. He's hitting .462 on the year.
In the 2 innings I've seen him in center field, I'm very impressed with him defensively.
One away, runners at first and second for Conway. First pitch to Stewart, swung on, fouled back.
How long are we going to go before we talk about the Red Sox and Yankees thing?
There's no need for that,
Okay.
I don't think.
Fair enough.
Kept the hands back.
So I was thinking, printing off a scorebook or score sheet, and just keeping score at a game. I don't know about how you were as a kid, but I mean baseball on the radio was my lullaby. I mean, I would lay in bed and listen to games and keep score in a scorebook. I was that baseball fan as a kid.
I mostly watched it on television.
Yeah.
Swung on, hit out to center field. It's a pass to the center fielder. They'll send the runner from third. They're going to send them both. One will score. The second one will be thrown out. That's Crow. So 2 away now, but an RBI for London Stewart.
He put a charge into that because that was into the teeth of the wind, and it was one hop off the fence.
Well, Dalton Boone, he just did not quite expect it to go that far.
Yeah. Well, and that's the outfielders, especially in center and right, are playing a little shallow because of that wind. And I do want to update my my London Stewart scouting report. Impressed with him defensively in the first 2 innings. Impressed with him offensively in this inning. That was nice.
He can do it. That'll bring up Owen Davenport. 2 away, but a runner still in scoring position for Owen. Trying to help himself out a little bit here. That's going to be a called strike on the outside.
I always wonder if pitchers that are hitting, if they file that away. Like, all right, you called that a strike.
Okay.
I know where I can pitch this.
Well, last week we only saw Owen for 2 innings, so I don't know.
Well, and that's what I was talking about with the number of pitches. It's, is he, like in the collegiate game, the Friday night starter is a big deal. If you're the Friday night starter, first game of a 3-game series, and that's what I was wondering about Owen. Is he normally this Tuesday night, if that's where his spot in the rotation falls?
Well, I know he pitched Thursday as well.
Okay. So pitched Tuesday and Thursday last week. All right.
But I don't know if he started. He may have come on in relief. But he threw, I believe, 3 innings at Catholic.
Okay.
7 strikeouts. One-two pitch. Too high.
The catcher reacted like, I know you meant to call it a strike. I'm going to go ahead and start my move, even though he had not. It was definitely high.
Stewart at second, 2 away.
That's a good pitch.
And Davenport goes down looking for the 3rd and final out. But the Wampus Cats get 1 run across here in the 2nd. It's 3-1 as we head to the top of the 3rd, coming up next on Conway Corp. Back live here on Conway Corp. The both Conway bowling teams won state championships just a few weeks ago. If you'd like to help donate to their championship rings, you can see that information here. And also, Coach Prince wanted me to say they have a barbecue fundraiser coming up as well.
Okay.
It's the Saturday as we come back. Right after spring break,
The
second
Saturday of spring break.
Yeah.
Okay.
Follow Conway Public School Athletics to find out more about how to place your orders and all that stuff. But all of this going towards helping pay for these championship rings.
I love it. Coach Prince is, and I'm telling you, there's a handful of them, I'm sure, but I know he heads that up with the efforts that they are putting in to make sure that these kids get these rings and get them at the best possible, the least impact to them financially. I'm grateful for him. My stepson Drew was on the bowling team for a couple of years, and so we know a lot of those folks and are proud of them and thankful that these efforts are happening. And if you can help, maybe we'll throw that graphic back up a little bit later, or like you said, follow along with the athletics department on social media to see where you can help. All right, so Owen Davenport gave us 2 innings.
2 innings, gave up 4 hits, 3 runs. And on comes Bo Billick, senior, 6'2", 225. He's thrown 9 innings on the year with a 1.56 ERA. First pitch to Boone is a ball. Up in the zone, ball 2. Boone singled. back in the first. And he was the second run to come across for Christian. Billick catches the outside for strike one.
So we were having a discussion about how old I am earlier, and I'm talking about the games on the radio. But so you watched, did you ever keep score as a kid?
I didn't keep score until I got into high school. That swung on, popped out into shallow right field. Kean Brown will secure it for out number one. I didn't start a lot in high school. So I kept
something else we have in common.
Kept some of the book,
okay,
from time to time. And then in college, when I took sports reporting, we had to keep a book as we covered games for Professor Donna Stevens.
Yeah, I loved it. I mean, that was – and so – and I've told this story 100 times, but I have the microphone, so I'm going to tell it 101. That where I grew up in Oklahoma, in the northwest part of the state, there was nothing to block a radio signal anywhere. And so I would look in the paper, see what games were on the West Coast, and was so excited for a 9 o'clock first pitch from whether it was a game with the Chicago teams or Cincinnati, Kansas City, St. Louis. I remember when we didn't have the Colorado Rockies, and so when they came around, it was a big deal to have games in the Western or the Mountain Time zone. And so, loved the sport growing up. Been a fan for a very long time.
Mitchell lined a single right up the middle into center field. He's at first with one out. And that brings on third baseman Hayden Hall. Will Hawkins will run for Reed Mitchell. Ball gets past Sean Cover. Hawkins will take second. So a runner in scoring position now for Hayden Hall with one out.
Good pitch.
Top of the third here in Conway. The Warriors 3, Wampus Cats 1. Woo. Catches the inside.
It's spectacular.
For strike two.
Probably before the end of the game, I'll remember that the mics are on all the time. And so when I do that thing that I do when I watch baseball,
it adds to the ambiance, you know?
Does it?
And listen, you're in good company because the guy that normally sits there.
Oh, yeah. Lots of noise.
Lots of noises. And I tried to channel that Friday in Hot Springs.
You did?
Oh, man. Okay.
Well, that would look like it's the best of the three.
It's a 2-2 count to Hall. Students and fans giving him some grief. Hawkins at second, one out. Billick gets him swinging. Cover picks it up and tags him for out number two. That'll bring on shortstop Cole Davis. Cole flew out to center. Back in the first to end the inning. First pitch swinging there. Did not connect. Strike one.
I've heard it for as long as I've been watching baseball, that when the shadows creep in, that becomes interesting. What a set of shadows situation we have at this time of year, and with the time change, that you've got shadows to deal with, But the pitch and the mound and home plate are both in the sun. So that's got to mess with you.
Well, and I imagine the ball, yeah, like you're saying, it's in the sun as it's coming out of the hand, but then it's quickly getting into the shadows.
Yeah.
0-2 pitch from Billick. Gets him swinging for out number 3.
Real nice inning.
One runner got on, but no damage done here in the top of the third. Wampus Cats trail 3-1. We'll head to the bottom half coming up next on Conway Corp. Bottom of the third coming up here at Wampus Cat Field. Back to the top of the order. It'll be Ford, Cover, and Holland. Good chance here for your Wampus Cats to get some more runs on the board. Ford walked back in the first inning and was retired on a fielder's choice.
Second time through the lineup. See if that gives them a little better look at this lefty.
Lefty on lefty right here. That gets across for strike one. It's 1-1. Ford 8 walks now on the year. After his walk back in the first, swung, line that hard to first base. But Connor Smith puts it away for out number 1. And that'll bring up Sean Cover.
We squared him up pretty good there. So maybe we'll push one across.
Max Holland almost in danger on that foul ball there from Cover.
Yeah, we need to straighten it out for a lot of reasons, not the least of which. Finally got him back in
Come on.
on-deck circle.
Protect Max Holland. It's 0-1 to Cover. Lays off a ball up and away. Trying to see if anybody's warming up.
I can't see anybody down there.
I see a catcher. Cover is going to poke it out into right field, just past the second baseman. It's a single for Sean Cover.
Is this the second year of the switch of dugouts, or is this the third? Or more than that even?
I think it's more than that. I feel like I've only known
Really?
them to be over there, yeah, on the third base side.
You think Tim's screaming at his
He might be.
television
Yeah,
right now?
he probably is. But that's what text messages are for.
Yeah.
1 out, 1 on for Max Holland. He doubled off the first pitch he saw of the season back in the first. Swung on. That's going to land out in right field. Cover will head for third, and Holland will head for second. Slide into second. They say it's safe.
Wow. Great slide. And a call that took a minute.
I'd love to know what he was waiting for there. He's going to talk it over.
Yeah, because if he was waiting to see if he had the ball, then
Yeah,
it would have been safe either way.
Yeah.
Whether he had it or not, if he beat the throw, he's safe. All right, well, so Max Holland, 2 for 2, 2 doubles, hitting 1,000 on the season.
OPS is getting up there too. So 2 Wampus Cats in scoring position.
Tyne runs out there, right?
Yeah, just 1 out here for Blake Kortsmeyer. Yeah, so Tim Roach said he thinks the change happened when Harden came in.
Okay.
So, yeah, all 5 years we've been doing
Yeah.
games.
You know, I don't know if you remember or not, Levi. I follow this stuff pretty closely, but Blake was an important part of the Wampus Cat football team back in the fall.
He was?
Yeah,
That is true.
a lot to keep up with.
Had a great touchdown catch in the quarterfinals against Rogers here at home. And he's ahead in the count 2-0. The pitch from Franklin. Line towards center field. Boone lines it up. They'll send Cover from third. He'll score. And Holland will advance to third.
It's a great piece of hitting right there.
Sack fly for Blake Kortsmeyer. The Wampus Cats add another run.
Now batting for the Wampus Cats, first baseman Willie Voss.
That'll bring up Willie Voss. Voss singled to lead off the second. It's 1 for 1. So 2 hits in the inning for your Wampus Cats. First pitch swinging, Voss fouls it back. That gets past the catcher.
Tied up.
Holland will come in, tie ball game.
We were a little bit surprised to see him come out for a third inning. And we wondered if both starters would just go the 2. And when he came out, you made a comment off the air. They were sending him back out. And
Well, it's just not what we've been accustomed to seeing on our side. So it's it's interesting to see how deep some of these other guys want to try to go. And it's just the second time through the lineup. A 1-2 pitch to Voss. Outside, ball 2.
you know, the parents and volunteers, the team, Coach Hart and everybody, they've done such a great job with this facility. You know, I know that Coach Boucher started the whole thing 30-plus years ago, and was it more than that? It was 30, right? I'm really
Yeah, 'cause
just
it was
saying
the late 80s, I think,
yeah,
right?
Maybe more. I just try to keep saying things that forced him to grab his phone.
Or maybe it was the early 90s.
But I know that, you know, they've really turned this into a great little ballpark. I mean, it's just a fun place to come watch baseball. with the additional changes they've made with the bleachers on both sides. And I know some of those have been here for a while, but honestly, I haven't had a chance to come and just sit at a game for a while. Looks great.
And Voss draws a walk with 2 outs.
Now batting for the Wampus Cats, the designated hitter, number 9, Carter Crow.
That'll bring on designated hitter Carter Crow. Carter walked in the second and was thrown out at the plate. That was well inside, but it's a called strike. Goes back to the same spot, gets the same result.
Carter said something, nodded his head.
Crow's behind in the count 0-2. Runner at first, heads for second. That's a stolen base for Willie Voss.
So go ahead, run in scoring position.
That is the 5th stolen base of the year for Voss. And a 1-2 count for Carter Crow. Pitch from Franklin. Off speed, inside. Gets Carter Crow looking, but hey, your Wampus Cats get 2 runs here in the bottom of the 3rd to tie things up as we head to the 4th inning, coming up next on Conway Corp. Back live here on Conway Corp.
Got us a game.
Yeah, I like it. Just starting over here in the 4th. That's what we're doing.
So Dominic Cicero, who is cousins with our Cicero. Learned that earlier today when David Thompson told me. They are cousins. And Silas would have started at shortstop, correct? Had Max not come back today?
That's correct. He had been starting at shortstop. Okay. Yep. He also pitches some for your Wampus Cats, so you might see him. You might see him tonight.
Which, by the way, all-time great name.
Silas Cicero
is a spectacular name.
That sounds like a baseball player.
It does.
So
Good pitch.
This article in the Democrat Gazette from when Coach Harden was hired says Boucher started the program in 1985.
Okay. All right. So we're at the 40-year mark. Okay. which I think is what David Thompson called me about earlier this year. So there you go.
Right, because
That's me for
he's the last game we're doing, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Last baseball game.
Last baseball game. Yeah. Well, I hope my wife is listening because there's proof that I also forget things that other people tell me. It's not just her.
That's fair. Billick got it in the dirt.
Wow.
Cover had to find it. Great calmness there by Cover to find the ball and throw it down to first. Strikeout for out number 1.
All right, before I say something, I'm going to look something up here. All right, he's a junior. So there's another year of Sean Cover being here. I just wondered what they were looking at him collegiately.
Cover,
yeah, he handled that like a seasoned pro at catcher.
Yeah, Cover and Holland both have played since they were freshmen, both juniors. Wow. Quite the class.
Yeah. Well, and Willie Voss, Carter Crow, Owen Davenport, London Stewart out there in center field, all juniors.
This is Coach Harden told me this is the first time in his 15 years that he's had this amount of upperclassmen. 0-2 pitch swung on out into left field, chased down by Blake Kortsmeyer for out number 2. So you get the feeling if these Wampus Cats can figure it out, they could do some things this year.
Without a doubt. And to pay off what we were talking about earlier, last baseball game of the year, there's going to be some celebration of that 40th year, and there'll be some folks, I think, stopping by the press box that game to share some stories. So we're looking forward to that.
First pitch to Crum, up and in, and hit him.
Not the way you want to put the 9-hole hitter on base.
Turns over the lineup for Connor Smith. Smith 1 for 1 on the day, a single. He reached on an error in the second. So 2 away, runner at first for Connor Smith. That pitch in the dirt for ball 1. Pickoff attempt at first. Checking on Crum. One-0 pitch outside. Ball 2. Kind of feel like Crum is drawing some of the attention over there at first. They'll appeal to the ump near second, and he says he went. Strike 1. You can hear, I don't know if it's coming across on the mic, but Billick, every time he's throwing it, you can hear a little grunt. Nice pitch for strike 2.
Yeah, between the grunt and the wind, that home-plate umpire's got some things to say too. He's had some conversations with folks behind the net.
2 outs, 2-2 pitch from Billick. Low and away, and it's a full count.
You know something I've been meaning to ask you?
Okay.
Does Tim ever forget which mic he's on?
Rarely.
Okay.
I think there's been a few times he's meant to push it in and just didn't quite get it all the way when he's trying to do PA.
Okay. Because that was what I was thinking. I thought, because part of the Tim charm is his opinionated nature and Wampus Cat blue-colored glasses.
He's very careful.
Okay.
He's very careful.
What I was hoping to hear.
To not have the PA mic on when he's Rolled over
That's
the top
trouble.
of that one. Billick fields it. Long throw to first, not in time. It'll be an infield single for Connor Smith.
They'll swing and bunt there. That was trouble, but a nice job by Willie Voss to come off the bag and secure the
Left fielder Ryan
throw.
Mullen.
Brings on Ryan Mullen, the left fielder. 1 for 1 on the day, single in the first, and he was called for runner's interference for the final out of the second inning. Crum at second, Smith at first for the Warriors. Strike one across for Bo Billick. It's a bit of a controversial call back in the second inning.
Yeah, it appeared he just took that last step into out of the base path. And, you know, on the collegiate level, there's a lot of, I think in the SEC and maybe some others where they're doing the double bags now, where there is a bag that's in foul territory, but still obviously counts as the first base bag.
2 pitch from Billick outside, ball 1.
Just to encourage staying in the path and not needing to step into fair territory to touch first base.
Crucial moment here in the fourth. Pitch from Billick, got him swinging, gets away. Cover, long throw.
Once again, and this time Voss is hurt.
Runner will come across. 1 run will score. As the runner collided with first baseman Willie Voss.
Same
the
two
throw from
players.
Cover,
Same
yeah.
two players involved.
Wow.
Third strike gets away, and Cover hustled and made a close play out of it, but this time it bounces away, and it will be no interference. We'll check on Willie.
Been a lot of tough situations today.
I was just thinking that same thing. That doesn't always happen.
Well, Voss appears to be fine. It'll be runners on the corners now with 2 outs.
And 1 run in.
And 1 run in here in the inning. You feel for Bo Billick, he's tried to do the work. A little swinging bunt. Infield single for Smith kept the inning alive.
Yeah, the last 2 batters have hit the ball a total of, 45, 50 feet. And a run has come in for Christian to take the lead.
Long conversation here from Coach Harden. Up having to come in and break up the conversation. And that brings on Dalton Boone. 1 for 2 on the day, a single, and a run scored in the first.
Center fielder Dalton Moon.
Billick steps off, faked the throw at third, then took a look at first. First pitch swung on out into right field. Jackson Robnett puts it away for out number 3. But Christian gets 1 run across to regain the lead, 4-3. We head to the bottom of the 4th next on Conway Corp. Back live on Conway Corp. Head to the bottom of the fourth. It'll be Rob Nett, Stewart, and Bo Billick.
Senior right fielder Jackson Robnett.
Here for your Wampus Cats. Rob Nett made the final out in the top of the fourth, and he'll see the first pitch here in the bottom half. First pitch, low for ball one.
Yeah, that ball that finished the top half of the inning was a victim of the wind. That ball was tagged. And Jackson had tons of room out there.
Seems like it's died down a little bit, judging by our center field camera here. Not wobbling quite as much.
And there's a flag over at the football stadium, and I can see it from here. And it's blowing a little bit, but you're right. It feels like over here it's at least died down a little.
1-2. That's going to hit Jackson. Leadoff runner on for your Wampus Cats.
They sent Franklin out there to start the fourth, and their manager is on his way to see if he gets him.
He is going to take it. And we will have a new pitcher coming up for the Warriors. We'll get it all squared away for you after this break on Conway Corp. New pitcher on the mound for the Warriors is Matt Marquez. Final line for Franklin, 3 innings pitched, 5 hits, 3 runs, 3 walks, and 4 strikeouts. But he is on the hook for the runner at first.
Colby Crow filling in on public address just gave us a 15-0 score update over at the softball field.
Nice. That's first conference game of the year for the softball.
All right.
Wampus Cats. London Stewart up with no outs and a runner at first. Stewart had an RBI single back in the second. Takes a called first strike to start the at-bat here. Wampus Cats trail 4-3 here in the bottom of the fourth. Stewart swinging, just fouls it off. He's behind 0-2.
Talked about the shadows earlier. The sun is getting to that point where third base and left field both are staring right into it. A ball hit on a line at third could pretty easily get caught up in it.
Robnett at first. The 0-2 pitch from Marquez. That's fouled back. Stewart keeping the at-bat alive.
Almost hit the umpire in the noggin. Off the net.
Ricochet. Pickoff. Attempt at first. Pitch to Stewart. That's behind him. Robnett takes off for second on the wild pitch from Marquez.
Yeah, that one slipped. That was nowhere near where he was aiming. Robnett in scoring position.
Tying run at second for your Wampus Cats with no outs. That's fouled. Count stays 1-2. Marquez, very deliberate between pitches. 1-2 pitch to Stewart. Up in the zone, they'll appeal down to second, and they'll say he held up.
Checked his swing. Of course, on the collegiate level and pro level now, they've got the action clocks, the pitch clocks, whatever they call different things.
It's got to be coming eventually, right? It's going to work its way down.
Got the shot clock in basketball, which was, I feel like, a great move. And the issue, just like it was with basketball, is that so many of these facilities just don't have the infrastructure for it. That would be, you'd need to have them in multiple places, and it gets to a point that that's difficult to do.
No outs, runner at second, and Stewart is many pitches into this at bat. That's in the dirt for ball 3.
Nice play by Mitchell to keep it near him so that Robnett had to stay at second.
Talking it over a little bit with Marquez. Hadn't been keeping up with the number of pitches in this at bat, but we're got to be near double figures here.
Yeah.
A lot of foul balls. Full count to Stewart. Pitch from Marquez, bounces in. It's a walk for London Stewart. Runners at first and second, and no outs in the inning.
Now batting for the Wampus Cats, number 30, Bo Billick.
And that'll bring on Bo Billick for his first at bat.
Has he been to the plate much?
This will be his 7th plate appearance on the year. He's got 1 hit, a double. First pitch to Billick, catches the outside for strike 1.
A double here would at least tie it. And Stewart's got some speed at first. Something in the gap might give the Cats the lead.
Robnett at second, Stewart at first. No outs here for Billick. Lays down a bunt. The pitcher slips, throw at first. Is not caught off the bounce. 1 run will score. They'll send the next runner as well. Play at the plate. And the Wampus Cats
How about that?
regain the lead.
So the gap that he hit it in was between the foul line down the third base line and the pitcher's mound. The bunt. Manufacturing a couple of runs there.
Man, yeah. That is a great way to manufacture some runs.
Max Owen heading out to second base to run for Billick.
Max, 6 runs scored on the year.
In the run for your Conway Wapascats, Max Owen.
Appreciate Max stopping by at halftime the other day.
Oh,
of
yeah,
the
that was great.
Conway Unified State Championship baseball or basketball game. Get a chance to visit with him and hear his story and why that's important to him and his plans to try to continue some of that work over at Rhodes when he's playing football in college.
Thomas Ford at the plate as he takes ball 1. He's 0 for 1.
Marquez struggling to find the plate here.
Ford 0 for 1, had a walk in the first. And lined out to first base in the third.
Yeah, hit that ball hard in the third.
Cats have already scored 2 runs this inning to regain the lead. Or, well, actually, first lead they've had. And it's 2 balls.
And battled back to tie it at 3.
Max Owen out at second. No outs, a 2-0 count to Thomas Ford. Up in the zone for ball 3. Marquez has already given up 1 walk this inning. And it's a
Student section into it over there.
4-pitch
Love it.
walk for Thomas Ford.
Now batting for the Wapascats, the catcher, number 18, is Sean Cover.
And not who you want to see at the plate if you're an opposing pitcher. Here in Conway, it's Sean Cover.
You mean the guy that's hitting over 700 on the season?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, you probably want to try to pitch around him.
That is the one indeed. No outs, runners at first and second. For Sean Cover, he singled back in the third. Strike 1 is across. It's got to be a good feeling for Marquez after throwing 4 straight balls.
Yeah.
The 0-1 to Cover. You think he's not going to swing at those inside pitches, but he's like, my bat speed can do it.
Yeah. Yeah, dropped his hands and pulled that pitch. Got to protect the plate here, 0-2.
Owen at second, Ford at first. Pitch to Cover, swung on, right back up the middle. It breaks through. They'll send Owen at third. Owen will score, RBI single for Sean Cover.
That ball that Sean Cover hit went off 2 gloves. The pitcher got a glove on it barely, and then it went through after hitting the glove of the shortstop, Davis, into center field to extend the lead to 6-4 with Owen crossing home plate.
Coach Brandon Eller going to come out, take the ball from Matt Marquez. We'll have another new Christian Warrior pitcher coming up after this break on Conway Corp. Back live here at Wampus Cat Field, and it's another lefty coming in for the Warriors, Gavin Ballard. And Jeff, you were making an interesting point during that break.
Well, it's just interesting that as far as the bullpen goes, this is the third pitcher we've seen that's kind of a carbon copy of the starter. And, as far as pitch angle and direction and having to shuffle up a lineup or anything, we're just seeing left-hander after left-hander after left-hander. So obviously trust the coaches more than managers, and I trust myself on that, but it's curious.
Up to bat for your Conway Wampus Cats, number 4.
Runners at first and second, no outs. We'll see Max Holland for the third time at the plate. Just his third plate appearance of the year, because this is his first start of the year. He's been dealing with a foot injury. He's 2 for 2 with 2 doubles.
Yep. You said he was a doubles machine after the first one. So
that's what he does.
Yeah.
A lot of one-hoppers off the wall. That's what I've been used to seeing from him. He's got home run power as well. First pitch, up and away for ball 1. I feel for Ballard coming in a tough spot, and the first batter you have to face is Max Holland.
Yeah.
Lined into center field. They'll send Ford at third. It gets past the center fielder. Ford will score. Cover comes around. Holland trying to leg one out. he's gonna have a 2 RBI double as he's thrown out for the first out. But man, what a day for Max Holland swinging the bat.
Yeah, doubles machine, so much so that he gets himself thrown out at third so as to not have 2 doubles and a triple. A 5-run fourth for the Wampus Cats.
You like those crooked numbers. Trying to update the scoreboard here.
Yeah, I know you're working double duty over there. And
if it's been a little delayed, if you've been watching, you're like, man, who's running the scoreboard?
yeah,
I'm sorry.
It's Levi. I offered to do it. I offered to do a lot of stuff today, and this is where I've ended up.
Listen, it's still here. Blake Kortsmeyer.
So all
Showed
this,
bunt there.
yeah, all this started with the bunt too. Was that's a delayed Diddy ghost. He probably forgot, even if he did.
That's 3 straight balls from Ballard to Kortsmeyer. Bases are cleared for your Wampus Cats. They've scored 5 runs. And that's a walk for Kortsmeyer.
And I know it's probably very premature, but do they have a run rule situation in conference baseball?
Yep, 10 after 5.
Okay.
Still got a ways to go, but
Yes,
the
we
way
do.
the way this inning's been going,
I will calm down.
Willie Voss at the plate now. He's 1 for 1, a single and a walk. 1 run scored. That is the 5th straight ball thrown by Ballard.
It's good to see Voss is all right. I know we talked about it a little bit when that play happened at first base, but as the first baseman, you're just completely exposed on a play like that.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not bracing for anything other than trying to catch the throw coming at you and just keep your foot on the bag. Well, he is all right.
6 straight balls now from Ballard. Seven straight balls, and Kortsmeyer will take second on the wild pitch.
And some help from the student section as they count the pitches out of the zone also.
I appreciate it. I need all the help I can get.
We should have given one of them the scoreboard.
So Kordsmeyer in scoring position now for Voss.
Ball 8.
Ball 8. 2 straight walks from Ballard.
Now back to the Wampus Cats, the designated hitter, Carter Crow.
That'll bring on Carter Crow, the DH. He's 0 for 1 on the night. A walk in the second, and he struck out in the third. Still just 1 out. That one catches it. Strike 1, so it'll end at 8 straight balls for Ballard.
You got to have the take sign on at that point.
Yeah.
I mean, you got if he's going to keep throwing them out of the zone. Now Carter can square one up.
The 0-1 pitch to Crow. That's up in the zone. It's 1-1. Kordsmeyer at second, Voss at first. 1 out and a 1-1 count. Make it 2-1.
That catcher Mitchell doing everything he can to help, trying to frame pitches, and it's that was just a little high.
That swung on out into left field. It'll fall. They'll send Kordsmeyer. He'll score from second. Voss into third. And Crow will advance to second. Nine, 4, 6 innings, or 6 runs here in the inning. The Wampus Cats have batted around. Blue telling somebody to get back in the Conway dugout. Tight ship, man.
No kidding. You haven't seen anybody walk up with anything in their pant pocket, have you?
No, I don't blame
They
him.
learned that lesson.
That's fouled back. Strike 1. Man, my score sheet's getting crazy over here.
Well, you're not getting any help from your color commentator. I started at a really good top half of the first. I kept up with everything, and then I did not.
That is a called strike.
Does Tim keep a book?
He does not.
Okay, so you're used to not having any help.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's double duty over there. He's doing
Yeah.
PA, so he's just focused on the PA duties as well as, letting me know what he's thinking about everything.
I take it back. I shouldn't say not any help, but just no help with the scorebook.
Yeah, you've been a great help to,
Just the talking.
yeah,
Thanks.
having a conversation. Otherwise, I'd just be talking to myself, which is not uncommon.
I mean, like I mentioned earlier, we had watching The Bachelor from last night, seeing what's going on with Grant, and then burgers. I was going to grill up some burgers, but it's fine. I can be here. Considering that's the cross I have to bear today is missing the Bachelor and not making burgers. The cross that Tim had to bear today.
Oh yeah, much worse.
Yeah, I'll be okay.
2-2 pitch swung on. Lofted out into left center field. Runner will tag up at third. That's Voss. A sac fly for Jackson Robnett.
So what we've learned about the Cats tonight, we were talking earlier about their ability to play from behind. You know, there hadn't been a whole lot of adversity, or there have been some close games, but wondered if they could play from behind. Well, they've proven that in a huge way. Seeing the starting pitcher through for the second time, being able to figure him out, and then handle these relievers as they've come in after trailing 3-0. Now up 10-4.
2 away here for Stewart. Takes strike one. Stewart had an RBI single back in the second. He walked and scored earlier in the inning. Seven runs have come across for your Wampus Cats. That swung on.
That could be trouble.
Out to left field.
Carried out to him.
Chased down by Ryan Mullen for that final out of the fourth inning.
Well,
huge,
that's good.
Huge inning for your Wampus Cats. They take a 10-4 lead in the top of the fifth, coming up next on Conway Corp. We come back here, the top of the fifth. Bo Billick out on the mound for his third inning. Wampus Cat bats came to life in the fourth inning. 7 runs. 7 runs off 4 hits. And you saw pretty much everything.
You did.
I mean,
you did.
Sac fly, bunt single, a hit by pitch, 2 RBI double for Max Holland, RBI single for Sean Cover, and 1, 2, 3, 4 walks in the inning as well. As we start the fifth, it'll be Mitchell, Hall, and Davis for the Warriors. First pitch up in the zone for ball 1. That's fouled back. 1-1. I'm hoping the Warriors, despite their championship pedigree, I'm hoping they just lay down here.
Are you?
I doubt that's going to happen, but, you know. 6-run deficit. Maybe they just call it a night.
Just head on back south. Traffic's all cleared out by now. Make their way home. They have got a beautiful facility.
Well, we'll get to see
down
it this
there.
fall.
Yeah.
You're talking about the
well,
baseball
talking
facility.
baseball,
Yeah.
but football as well, because I understand there's some press box challenges.
Yeah, well,
But
we've
where
we've
are
dealt with
there
that.
not?
Yeah.
But, yeah, no, that's their campus out off of Highway 10. If you're not familiar with it, it's like you're on their way to Pinnacle Mountain. It's out that direction. Good pitch.
Billick ringing up Mitchell for out number 1.
Now batting number 23, third baseman Hayden Hall.
I'll bring up third baseman Hayden Hall. Hall 0 for 2 on the night. First pitch from Billick is low for ball 1.
Well, the timing of the church bell was perfect along with that pitch.
I don't know how well it's coming across on our crowd mic, but I like it. Two balls to Hall.
Send a special shout out along to former Wampus Cat Steve Beal, who is who's watching, asking about a Eddie Murphy song from way back in the day. Way back in the day.
Back when he was still on SNL?
Well, Party All the Time. No, it was after the
Oh, okay.
SNL days, but there was a time in a previous life when he'd call and request it, and I'd play it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. 3-1 pitch from Billick up in the zone, and Hall draws a walk.
You think if we do enough of these,
Batting for the Warriors,
so
shortstop.
I guess I've gone, let's see, better part of 5 years only doing 2 games. And now in
5 days.
well, in 2 weeks I've done
Oh, that's right.
4.
Yeah, yeah.
So
You've done 2 with me in 5 days, yeah.
that's true. And then Tim and I did a couple up in Springdale, basketball games. Next year, being our 25th year of Wampus Cat football,
Wow.
might need to roll my old bones out and call a little bit of a game
Come on.
with you. That'd be fun.
We'll just tell Tim to stay home. I'm sure he'll.
Yeah, that will happen. He'll find a way. Could you imagine Tim Roach as a sideline reporter?
Yeah.
Maybe
he could.
that's what we need to do.
He'd be getting all the scoops.
Yes.
Well, Hall is at second. He advanced earlier on a. I don't know if it was a wild pitch or a pass ball. It's kind of close, but 1 out and a runner at second here for the Warriors.
10 after 5, is that what you said?
Yep.
Okay.
To a pitch from Billick outside for ball 3. He's going to have to work through one here.
So Billick's primary use is on the mound more
Yes.
than anything else?
Yeah.
Okay. 6'2", 225. So coming into this game, 15 strikeouts to only 1 walk. Wow.
3 walks now, unfortunately, after 2 here in the inning.
Get a chance to play college ball over at Connors State.
Now batting for the Warriors, pinch hitter number 11, Ridge Bowman.
Got a pinch hitter coming in. Number 11, Ridge Bowman. So 1 away, 2 on for the Warriors. And they're going to let Billick try and work his way out of this. Double play ball would be nice. That was done down the zone, but swung over by Bowman. This is ball one.
Must have been a little low.
Yeah, I was a little uncertain myself. 1-1 from Billick. That's a wild pitch. Runners will advance.
Kind of felt like he tried to overthrow that one. A little too much on it.
So now both runners in scoring position. Just one out. That takes away the double play ball. That swung on over to third. 5-3 for out number 2, and they hold the runners. Great play by Thomas Ford.
Now batting for the Warriors is second baseman Pete Greenwood.
Talking about all of the Wampus Cat baseball players who are making their way to ASU Three Rivers and kind of that pipeline that's going down there. There's another Conway High athlete who is committed, Samaya Jordan, announcing yesterday she'll play collegiately down at Three Rivers.
It's awesome.
Man, they're getting a great one.
They are indeed. Gets Greenwood swinging there, evens the count at 1-1. Yeah, congrats to Samaya. She's had a great career as a Lady Cat. Whew. I guess that must have been low too. Two outs, 2 on. 2-1 pitch outside for ball 3.
So Billy getting a little frustrated. You can definitely hear the grunts. I feel like the wind has died down enough now that we're not battling that at all. But you can hear him reaching back for a little extra.
Greenwood 1 for 2 on the day. 3-1 pitch. Too far inside. That's 3 walks that Billick has given up here in the inning. With the bases loaded, out comes Coach Leighton Harden. And that's going to do it for Bo Billick. We'll get the next Wampus Cat pitcher up after this break on Conway Corp. Back live here in the top of the 5th at Wampus Cat Field. And Silas Cicero takes the mound for the Wampus Cats with 2 outs and the bases loaded.
On the pitch for your Conway Wampus Cats, Silas Cicero.
Brings up DH Carson Crum. Carson 0 for 1 on the day, lined out back in the second. Was hit by a pitch and scored in the 4th inning. Hall at third, Davis at second, and Greenwood at first for the Warriors. First pitch swung on. That's going to be in foul territory for strike 1. Cicero, 4 2/3 innings pitched on the year. Got a check swing foul on Crum there. Cicero 6 punch-outs on the year. He's only allowed 1 hit. 0-2 pitch on the way. That swung on. That's going to land out in shallow center field. 1 run will score. They'll hold the runner at third. Bases will stay loaded as 1 run comes in for Christian.
A quick aside. I feel like I follow college sports pretty close. Carson Crum was posted on the Little Rock Christian Warrior Baseball X feed a couple of weeks ago. He is going to play collegiately at the College of St. Scholastica.
Runners coming in, pass ball, will score another one. That is a
college of which I'm not familiar.
That's a lot. So runners at second and third. And a 1-0 count. That popped out to right field, chased down by Jackson Robnett to end the threat here in the top of the 5th. 2 runs come across for the Warriors, 6-10. We'll head to the bottom half coming up next on Conway Corp. Back live here at Wampus Cat Field to start the bottom of the 5th. We get to see pitcher Silas Cicero at the plate.
Well, I've officially gone down a rabbit hole of the College of St. Scholastica. It's in Duluth, Minnesota.
Yes, I'm familiar with Duluth, Minnesota from the Mighty Ducks movies.
Okay. Well then,
speaking of rabbit holes.
This is they're a D3 school, so they're the same level collegiately as Hendricks. and I'm just glancing through their roster, and I believe that young man will be the third player from south of Iowa
Okay.
that is on this team. It's a lot of players from
Culture shock.
that neck of the woods. Yeah, and I mean, I was looking at their schedule. They start in mid-February, just like everybody else.
Wow.
And so, mid-February in Duluth, Minnesota is cold.
Hopefully they start the season in Florida somewhere.
Right?
0-2 pitch swung on over the shortstop. What an arm.
That was a nice play.
6-3. Puts out Cicero for out number 1.
Cole Davis with the pick and the throw.
That'll bring up Thomas Ford as we get back to the top of the lineup. Ford 0 for 1 on the day with 2 walks. He scored a run in the 4th.
See some of the Lady Cat softball players. They've wrapped things up and making their way over to watch the end of this one.
Ford took a hack there.
Big cut.
That one up and in for ball 1. It's 1-1 count. Well, it felt like the Wampus Cats were cruising, and they gave up 2 runs in the top of the inning. That 6-run lead, just now 4.
Yep.
Ford has been a walk machine today. He's worked the count 2-1 here. That ball bounces in for ball 3.
Is there a run rule after 6?
Yeah, well, just any time after 5.
That it's more than 10?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's inside for ball 4. 3rd walk drawn for Ford today.
Yeah, most of my recent baseball connections have been at the youth level where the clock starts and, you've got you got some gamesmanship going on with, come talk to me. Come on. Make it, let the time run out before you start the next half inning. And so actually playing it through, that's the way it's intended.
Cover at the plate now. He's 2 for 3 with 2 singles and an RBI. 10 walks on the year now for Thomas Ford. Came into the game with 7. He's got 3 tonight. And he's at first base with 1 out. Ooh. Bet Cover wishes he had pulled the trigger on that one. Wampus Cat offense has put up 2 home runs on the year, both of them from Covert. 1-1 up and away for ball 2. We didn't get to this part of darkness a week ago. That game with Bryant was over after 5 innings. And that's up for ball 3. Ballard walked Ford in the previous at-bat. Cover trying to work into another walk here. Woo. He's going to swing on deep to left field. No doubt about it. 2-run shot for Sean Cover. His 3rd home run on the year.
Did you park over there?
No.
Yeah, me either. Wow. A no-doubter from Cover.
Home run for Sean Cover.
Well, 3 home runs now for your Wampus Cats on the year, all 3 of them from that man. He's a problem.
Wow. So I think we're about to see our first right-hander of the night.
Well, hey, change of pace. All right, we'll take a break as Christian works up their next pitcher. Back in a moment on Conway Corp. Wampus Cats have doubled up the Warriors after the 2-run home run from Sean Cover, his third of the year, and it was as no-doubter as a no-doubter can get.
That's right. That's right. So the Cats are on the road on Thursday, another conference game, taking on Southwest, and then hosting Valley View, which is a traditional baseball power from northeast part of the state up near Jonesboro. And that's back here on Friday afternoon.
I thought they had a game on Friday.
Colby Kroll handling the PA duties tonight. Mentioned a couple of times that it's a youth night, kids night, and so first Friday of spring break, come out and watch this team, which hopefully finish this one off.
Max Holland leans into one. It's not going to get enough on it. That was a loud out to center field for Max Holland. First time he's been retired at the plate tonight.
Finish this one off up 12-6, and then I don't know what Southwest is like, but if we can get a victory there, then probably going to have an undefeated Wampus Cat team to come out and watch Friday night.
Blake Kordsmeyer first pitch swinging, grounded over to second base, 4-3. And the Wampus Cat threat is retired here in the fifth, but not after a loud 2-run home run for Sean Cover. Makes it 12-6 as we head to the top of the sixth next on Conway Corp.
You don't wake up thinking about internet speed, electricity, reliability. Your mind isn't on advanced treatment facilities or customizable systems. You don't have to think about any of these things because we do. Conway Corp, always on.
Whew. Great shot of the student section over there here at Wampus Cat Field.
All right, well, my son is still here.
Okay. That's good.
He's supposed to let me know when he leaves places,
Yeah.
You'll know someday when you got kids driving. Like, just let me know when you go somewhere.
Please.
Well, he's on camera now.
I'm still a ways away.
Yeah, I enjoy that.
Silas Cicero back on the mound as we start inning number 6 here on Conway Corp.
Did you say this portion of the dark or this portion of – what did you say? Do you remember? Because I loved it, whatever it was.
I think I said something like darkness maybe.
Yeah, this portion of the darkness, I think is what you said. Agreed. I don't know how you people work in press boxes with the lights off. I just want to throw that out there, too.
I'm getting close to where it's probably not going to be much longer for me.
Oh, we had another back pocket incident? I was not paying attention.
He tried to sneak one in. You're not getting past that guy.
No, not that guy.
Give it up.
Do you think his kids called him whenever they were leaving to go from place to place?
I think they called or they never came back at all.
They probably still call.
Those were the options.
They're in their 40s.
Dad, I'm going to 7-Eleven. Just wanted you to know. Now, why did I say 7-Eleven?
I don't know.
There's no
Probably
7-Eleven here in Conway.
On one of your TV shows, one of your programs.
Calling a game with an Okie over here. That had me thinking 7-Eleven.
Yeah. Speaking of, man, that's a perfect setup. So looking at the schedule, we mentioned Southwest.
Oh, yeah.
And then Valley View.
I know where you're going with this.
Next, whatever the 27th is.
Yeah, it looks like they're in some tournament at Robinson.
Oh, it's at Robinson?
That's what it says here on Scorebook.
Oh, well, then never mind. I mean, I'm still glad they're playing them, but I thought it was going to be here in my hometown. But our Conway Wampus Cats are taking on my alma mater,
Enid.
the Enid Plainsmen, class of '88. I do not know if there's ever been a Conway school play Enid. If it's happened, I'm not familiar with it, but pretty cool to see the old stomping grounds come up on the schedule there.
Who are you going to root for?
Well, I was class of '88 there.
Okay.
But be where your feet are, Levi. That's what I always say. So my feet are here.
That's good advice.
It's a good book. Real good book.
1-1 pitch from Cicero.
So I'm for the Wampus Cats. I don't know if I made that part clear.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
I understood.
Good.
Cicero struck out Mullen in the previous at-bat. He's got a 1-2 count here on Boone.
Good pitch.
Gets him for out number 2. 2 straight strikeouts for Cicero.
So has Cicero faced his cousin yet?
Number 17, Reed Mitchell.
I don't know. No. Because this is just his fourth.
Okay, just fourth batter.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if he gets another inning, he'll may get a chance at it.
Yeah, maybe.
He will get a chance at it. Well, Bowman pitch hit for Cicero earlier, so I don't know.
That's true.
Surely they wouldn't deny us.
A Cicero cousin at bat.
Give the people what they want. Just
So-
like this ump is giving me what I want with these strike calls. I like it.
So Silas Cicero, our pitcher, his cousin Dominic Cicero, which is also a great name, plays for Christian and starting right fielder. But yeah, you mentioned that he was pinch hit for earlier, so we may not get a chance to see that.
One, two from Cicero, rings him up, strikes out the side.
Goodness.
Great inning from Silas Cicero. Cats, Bats coming up next on Conway Corp. Come back live here for the bottom of the 6th on Conway Corp. Willie Voss will lead off for the Wampus Cats. It'll be Voss, Crow, and Rob Nett due up for Conway. Wampus Cats up 12-6. Silas Cicero had quite the top half of the inning. Struck out the side. Connor Davis back on the mound for Christian. He catches the outside edge there for 1-1.
Connor Davis, who is not Connor Smith or Cole Davis.
Right.
Both of which also play for Little Rock Christian. We're like, how do we know that name?
Bet there's no confusion from the coach on that.
Of course not. Davis. Connor Davis. $13-0 last week.
That sounds right.
Is that what the final was?
It was a shutout, I know that. On the Bryant Hornets, FYI, in case anybody forgot. I'll never forget. Yep, 13-0. Count stays 1-2 after the foul ball. Swung on out into left field. Mullen puts it away for out number 1. And on comes Carter Crow, the DH. 1 for 2 on the day. Has a walk and an RBI single in the 4th. Up and in on Crow. It's been a while since I've taken live pitches.
You ever find yourself at the batting cage? Done that lately? Yeah.
No. Not since high school.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Driving range?
Not a golfer. I go to the movies. That's what I do.
You know what? I do know that. And I thought about you so much during the Oscars. Because I'm watching them, and I'm like, I got nothing. I know who that guy is, the Timothy that everybody seems to like.
Oh, yeah, Timothy Chalamet.
Yep. But I'm like, I don't know any of these films. And then I remembered, wait, my friend Levi has got his list that he keeps up with. And so several of the movies that that you like, right?
Yeah.
Did well Dune?
Dune Part 2. Yeah, I was nominated. I saw 23 new movies in theaters in 2024. I saw 25 total because I saw a couple re-releases.
Okay.
Dune Part 1 was one of them.
Yeah.
That's trouble.
Oh.
Drops in.
He got to it, but
Cole Davis chased it down but couldn't quite secure it. And Crow will reach.
you saw 25 movies in the theater.
Yeah.
Have y'all talked about this?
Me and Tim?
Yes.
Oh, no, because he hasn't seen a movie since, like, 1995. He doesn't care. He is not interested at all. It's not an area that we have common ground.
Okay. What piques your interest? Like, there's no way that there are 25 films released or 23 films released last year. You're like, man, I gotta go see that.
Well, and here's the other thing: I don't watch trailers.
I know you don't. I went to one movie with you, and it freaked me out. I look over, you've got your head covered up and AirPods in. And I'm like, what are you doing?
I don't want to be spoiled. I just want to go in and experience it.
Well, you do. 23 times.
It's my hobby. I used to go to the movies a lot with Justin King.
What happened there?
He started producing and directing Conway Corp productions.
Oh, yeah?
And just kind of lost time for me. Last movie we saw was Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. I think that was in May. It's been almost a year, Justin King.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
So the last movie Tim saw, or the last movie Tim saw in the theater?
In the theater.
Okay.
I think.
It was
I don't know.
1995.
I mean, that's a great clarification. I think he meant in the theater. Oof, right back towards us. In the net. Yeah, he consumes live sports in
Okay.
person or on the TV. That's what
Yeah.
he watches. I respect it.
Yeah, I do a lot of that. But we like our programs. You know, we got our. We're part of the big true crime series family.
And The Bachelor, you would have been watching that tonight.
Yeah, I know. I'm thankful no one has texted and spoiled who Grant sent home. I'm telling you, that is a Monday night staple for us. He's a former basketball player.
Oh, okay. Like a NBA or
No,
just college?
I think. Well, a little college, he played in the Dominican Republic.
1-2, swung on end to right center
Wow.
field. That's going to two hop to the wall. 1 run will score, and he's going to leg it out for a triple. Jackson Robnett.
Nice. Put a charge in that.
RBI triple. Man, oh man.
How about Andrew Wampuscat's center fielder, number 14?
That's his third triple on the year.
Wow.
London Stewart, first pitch. That's going to get foul. So a runner at third, 1 out, and 1 run scored after the RBI triple from Jackson Robnett. 3 triples on the year. That's speed right there. It's going to be out in shallow left field. Cole Davis will chase it down.
Probably good to not test the arm there.
That's out number 2.
Now batting for the Wampuscats, pitcher number 8, Silas Cicero.
Silas Cicero comes on. His second plate appearance of the night. Grounded out to the shortstop in the last inning. Up for ball 1. Yeah, the Wampus Cats, let me see, they've hit 6 triples on the year. Jackson Robnett's got half of them.
He's the Sean Cover of triples. Sort of. Sean with his 3rd home run tonight.
And Sean Cover, he's got a triple, so he's got one of the others. Nice charge on that one. Be chased down by Boone to end the inning.
All right.
But the Wampus Cats get one more across, 13-6. We'll head to the top of the 7th. Coming up next on Conway Corp. Head to the top of the 7th here. Wampus Cats 3 outs away from moving to 4-0 in conference play and 7-0 on the year.
Shout out to the JV parents.
First pitch swinging for Hall. Taken in by Max Holland.
Got
Throw
it.
is in time.
Nice play by Voss there at first. And the reason I'm saying that is, don't they play next?
Well,
Doesn't
JV plays
Right, JV.
next, yeah.
Yeah.
But the 9th grade team, they've got so many 9th graders. They have 2 separate teams,
There's
right?
a blue and a white.
Blue and white. And they
Yeah.
play on Mondays. Do they play other nights too? Just Mondays?
Okay.
Yeah.
But
Has it always been 2? Is that new this year? Or? Okay. Talking to David Thompson.
yeah, I probably should have given the headset. You should bring him on sometime.
We should.
If you haven't done
listen,
that
if
yet.
if you hadn't come tonight, I was gonna make him.
Well,
get
why
on.
didn't you tell me that at 4 o'clock?
I
would have gladly given this up so David could have actually shared information.
Listen, I tried to give you an out,
You did. You did. And
not because I didn't want you here,
well, that's the way it felt.
but because it's a lot. It's last minute. Plans, and you've already done 4 games in the last 2 weeks. I mean,
Well, I'll tell you, my bride said, if you got to work, you got to work.
yeah. Well,
And I got to work.
be
And
where your
so-
feet are.
Be where. Thank you. All right. So we're going to do that. God, something I was going to ask you. Oh, the JV parents.
Mhm.
Unlike JV other sports where you either play on a – goodness.
Great diving stop by Holland, thrown out in time.
Where you know that, like in basketball, they play at either 4:30 or 5 or, there's a set time when they have to be there.
Yeah.
These JV parents that are showing up, there's no idea. You have no idea. You have no idea
yeah.
when your night's going to start. It's 7:45, and there's still this game to finish. They got to. I guess they probably rake the field and everything and get it ready,
Yeah.
and then they start up. So, shout out to those folks.
It is interesting because if you've only been used to basketball where they play before, or like football, they have this whole separate
Whole different night. Yep.
Baseball, it's different. They play after.
Which obviously, the purpose of that is so that your varsity game is going to start at a certain time, preparation, everything else.
Right. It's not like basketball where you have
Yeah.
fixed quarters and all that.
And if something goes haywire and you're here until 9 o'clock in a varsity game, I'm sure there have been some times where the decision's been made. We may not get this one in tonight as
Yeah.
far as a JV game goes.
Davis advances to second on the pass ball. 1 out and 2-0 count. This is Rich Bowman. So, yeah, we don't get our Cicero on Cicero.
Okay. So the rest of the week, Cats on the road Thursday at Southwest. Jay Runyon texted us and said that shouldn't be any problem there, as you had mentioned also. And so move to 8-0, hopefully on Thursday. And then on Friday, it'll be Valley View here in town.
2-2 pitch from Cicero. Gets him swinging for out number 2. That is it's 4 strikeouts now for Cicero. Brings on Pete Greenwood. First pitch swinging out into right field. Jackson Robnett puts, oh, no, sorry, he did not. That will keep the inning alive.
And a run
And a
scored?
run scored. That was a little unexpected.
So unexpected, I had my keys in my hand.
I wasn't even looking. I was looking down at my score. score sheet here.
Silas is like, I'll just take care of it. 2 more pitches.
Got Crum swinging again.
Whew.
Runner on first. And that'll do it. Silas Cicero, his 5th strikeout of the night. And that will do it. Here at Wampus Cat Field, Conway moves to 7-0 overall, 4-0 in 6A Central play.
Well, looking at that scoreboard out there, I mean, that's you mentioned crooked numbers earlier. There's a lot of them. 13-7, the final. I'm sorry I interrupted you, but I was just thinking about the way that scoreboard looks out there. Very impressive comeback.
Yeah, I mean, it was looking dire to start the game. They gave up 2 runs in the top of the first, and then another run in the second. It was 3-0. And
yep, going to the bottom of the second, and the little lefty that was out there for them, Franklin, was really handling things pretty well. And then Wampus Cats came alive, tied it up at 3, lost the lead again. It was 4-3 going to the bottom of the 4th, but then a 7-run bottom of the 4th was the difference.
the Wampus Cats will be off next week for spring break. And our next broadcast will be 2 weeks from tonight, April 1st. Forget who they're playing.
It's the softball versus Bryant.
Versus Bryant. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Cannot wait. So we'll be off for a couple weeks. When we come back, we'll have our first softball broadcast of the year. My thanks tonight to the entire 5 Sports crew. David, Justin, Aiden working camera. We had Alex on camera tonight. Jeff Matthews stepping in for Tim Roach. Tim, get healthy.
Yeah.
Get some rest. We'll need you back in 2 weeks, my man.
Yeah, because the women tell all is soon on The Bachelor, and I will not miss that.
You can't. You cannot miss it. All right, we'll see you in 2 weeks. Thanks for watching.